hood's been painted twice.
What are you sanding with?
Let's get into one of these rare human moments.
You removing these rock chips all over?
So this thing's been painted twice, the hood. And so the hood was peeling up. But as you can see, this thing's got rock chips pretty bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sanding it, if you look, it's coming off okay, but look, this is how you know that something has been wet sanded and buffed to an inch of its life. It's not coming off evenly in different spots. It's coming off and it's coming off relatively quickly because there's no clear here, but there's clear here. So that means that they nibbed the shit out of it here. And so it's all thinned out. You know, we talk about this quite a bit. The restoration world has the majority of it has gone to shit by kids that don't know anything about what they're doing. People like Durbin, people like, and I love to name them, Ollie Paints, because they all run their mouth about shit and neither one of them have 20 years combined knowledge. They've got, 10 for one and 5 for the other, I think, maybe at best. And so they think that what they do, and I'm not talking about people like Bondo Billy because he clearly knows what he's doing. They put on an entire gallon of clear and then they start somewhere around 220 or 320 and take it all the way up to 3,000 just to wet sand and buff it, which is stupid. It's stupid. Because if you have to take off that much clear, and make no mistake about it, boys and girls, this is 80 grit. I can take off an entire layer of this fucking paint with 320, okay? And just like that. So what's the point of putting 17 coats of clear on a car just to remove 16 of it and end up with it doing stuff like this? That is so far beyond stupid. And then brag about your $500 a gallon clear, right? That's stupid. I use a 1.4 spray head. I pay $120 setup for clear that's just a little bit lesser than Glazer's clear as far as UV protection, and that's on a daily driver. I put that on a restoration that's going to sit in somebody's garage. Yeah, it'll make it 20 years. Shit, it'll probably make it 30 or 40. If it's going to sit in somebody's garage and then come out once or twice a year. But what I'm not going to do is sand off 2 layers of 3 of clear and then buff it. Okay, fine. You want to do it. And flow coat's not the right word. Flow coat is something that you do at the end of the paint job whenever you've already cleared it and you're trying to get it to flow out. Hence the name flow. But whenever you sand it again and re-clear it, you call it whatever you want. It's not flow coat. You're re-clearing the car. So you're adding more clear onto it. In the old days, it had to do with adding depth perception. So you added more clear. And so you can. So you can sand off with 600, about a half of what you've done, You've laid on 3 coats of clear, and so you come back with 600 to scuff it all up, take the nibs out of it. Maybe you took off half a layer with 600 grit, and then you hit it with 2 more layers, which means now you've got 5 coats of clear or 4 coats of clear. And if you still have problems with 4 coats of clear peeling up or dying back after 6 months or a year, that's your prep work, you moron. It's just simply your prep work that failed.
Or they put too much clear on.
Like I said, your prep work failed.
Fair enough. Glenn says, good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Glenn.
Tim says, hello, hope you're doing well.
Hello, Glenn, yes.
Candyman says, it's Sunday. You're not supposed to work today.
And then for those, I know. And then for those who go, why are you so angry all the time? If you thought that discussion was out of anger, your parents didn't beat your ass enough because you don't know what anger is.
Let's see. What type of car is it?
Nissan. See right here? Nissan.
A Nissan Ram.
It's a Nissan Sentra. See right here? It says Sentra.
XL Pro says, hit the like button.
No,
Let's
I
see.
can't. I'm already on it.
Eric says, hi.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Says, you're always in the garage.
As opposed to where? You want me to take the pictures of your mom's house and in your wife's bedroom? I mean, is that what you want? I can. I don't want to.
Let's see. Eric says, sup, old school. Let's see. Unc can probably fix anything with an engine.
No, I'm not a mechanic. I can't fix anything. I can fix anything paint-wise. Yeah, on a car? Absolutely.
on the Nissan. Have a good day, sir. Let's see. In all due respect, it really is a fear that those years of Dodge Rams, the company was owned by Fiat.
Fiat never owned Dodge.
Daniel says, oh, this is a Bugatti from the 90s. That's cool.
On steroids. So look, one of the new backhanded insult compliments. He does work on shit boxes that won't be around in 5 years. He does work for car dealers. Guys, the moment someone tells me they're a car dealer, there's no more discussion. I throw them out of my shop and tell them simply, I don't do car dealer work. These cars will still be on the road in 5 years. I think this has got like a 318 motor in it. And if I'm wrong, well, then that's fine. It's got the 360 motor in it. But you can buy these engines all day long for $300, $400, $500 all across America in junkyards. Pay somebody else another $500, and then the truck lasts another couple of 100,000 miles, along with my paint job. And then, of course, we get stuff like you see in the background. Well, that's been around longer than you've been alive. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think you're a fucking idiot. I got an Oldsmobile sitting right here that's probably been on driving longer again than you've been alive and will be on the road long after you're dead.
It's funny that everyone says that. Oh, you only got 5 years, but they're like
Right.
90s. This is like a 98. That's over 20 years now.
Right. I got a 70 GTO. I've got a 53 Chevy pickup truck. Again, they've been on the road longer than you've been alive, and they've survived, which means they need a quality paint job. Now, they're not sitting in your shit show. Your shop, because you don't know what you're doing, and your shit's going to peel inside of a year or two. Mine doesn't. You can't see that? Yeah, I can, because I know the kind of clear I use and the quality of clear I use, and I know the quality of work I do. Now, you guys scream upside and down the other about how you're turning the DA. You're not doing it flat. You're not doing it flat. You got to produce. Listen, here's your hurt feelings for the day, okay? Give you a chance to scroll on. Now that you didn't, you fucking piece of shit retard. If you're putting a DA to a flat surface that has to be flat, like say a show car quality paint job on a 57, 53, or a 70s, whatever. If you're putting a DA on that car, you don't know a goddamn thing about what you're doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Because, you know, I watch Billy all the time. Billy does shit. So Billy knows how to use a DA. And he knows how to use it on a high quality, high dollar restoration. But you children can't even tell the difference on a daily driver where you're gonna get ways. Nobody cares what you think, dude. You're a fucking idiot. You don't know that on that 57 that's getting restored, a DA will never truly touch that. Now you'll have grinders, you'll have the guys who are doing body work, but their final body work, that's done with a billy stick or, you know, paint sticks. It's not done with DAs. So you stupid special victims out there who go, you're using a DA. Yeah, we all do on daily drivers.
Pop, stop dropping the hard. If there weren't retards, you wouldn't have any viewers.
Stop dropping the word retard?
No, it just says stop dropping the hard of there.
Oh. So English language first, not yours. How about ICE comes and picks you up, takes you back to whatever country of origin you're in?
Christopher says he's handling the sander like a drunken sailor. It's sad. What?
See, there it is again. Another piece of shit victim. All right.
Guaranteed said God loves retards. That's why he made so many.
Yeah, it shouldn't be funny. You and I looked in the hell for that one.
Probably. It's a slander word.
I mean, it really is. It just shows the mental capability that you don't have. That's all that word means.
Blue says it's only a word.
Right.
Sticks and stones might break my bones.
That's right. And words will never hurt me, which is why I haven't closed up my shop, put a gun in my mouth, or any of that shit, because bullies think that their words can hurt me. Bullies can't hurt me. Their words can't hurt me. But like the guy said on Last Man Standing, you hurl your words and insults, I'll take my baseball bat to you. Let's see who gets hurt worse.
Christopher says, wrong choice of sandpaper, sir. Poor body work skills. We're not doing body work.
Yeah, what should I be using, Christopher? What tool should I be using, you stupid fuck? Here's your shot.
Let's see. Use a DA. The final is the hand sand. Anyone should know that. Well, maybe not anyone.
No, that's not true at all. A true restoration guy will never put a DA on a true restoration. Okay? Everything's done by hand. The only thing that they'll put a DA on, and it's not a DA, it's a grinder because it goes in one direction, you fucking idiot. And that's whenever they're grinding down their rough work, their body work. And then they switch it over either to a billy block or they switch it over to a soft block.
Let's see. Grease says baseball bat aggression. What clear do you use?
I'm more of a pistols kind of aggression kind of guy.
What clear do you use? What manufacturer?
I would like to get into that with you, but I think people are too much of a bitch. And the more I don't tell them, the more they angrier they get.
Lou says you're sanding all wrong.
I know. Or just maybe you're not using really high fill primer. Maybe that 2K bullshit ain't real high fill primer. Like
is that a primer. Wasp?
Probably. To do after a whole 5 years or 10, whatever it is. And it certainly ain't you prepping that shit, Ollie. We all know that. But for you want to make comments to Turbine and other stuff, or you did on my page, right? And then all of a sudden you want to disappear whenever you got shown to be the fool that you are. And now I think once again, people are riding your ass about how stupid you are. And I think that's coming to bite you and you can't take that pressure, Ollie. And so now, like I said, you want to be like Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? Because the last time you attacked me, you went, "Hey, Turbin, can you believe that?" Turbin didn't want to answer because Turbin got his ass shown for also being a retard. But I use him a lot because, well, he really is a pathetic little numbnut. I have a hatred. Like I said, somebody said, maybe if you didn't and then talked about people like that, people would listen to you. No, you don't understand, baby. I hate you motherfuckers in this paint area. I hate every goddamn painter on this fucking app. And I mean that. Like, if you run out in front of me with a shirt that says I'm a car painter, I'm going to gas it. And then I'm going to back over top of you and run back over you and back over you again until your body goes squish.
Severe says, you shouldn't knife the sander. It'll ruin your pad. Then right away he says, just effing with you. Where are you going? Oh, more 80 grit.
Yeah, another piece.
Let's see. Eric says, you guys are awesome. Thanks for sharing with us. Keep up the good work on the old Nissan.
See, I don't mind the DIY guys because they're not shitty. But I do know this: the one-liners, the I don't know why everybody can't get on here and call each other hacks. I'm bald. I'm a dumbass. Oliver. I can't use his name enough.
Enrique says, I think everyone is wrong. He's doing it old school, which is a different technique. It's a bit old, but still very good when finished.
Yes and no, and I kind of want to disagree with you because if you want to paint a car, you're not going to sacrifice a goat. You're not going to grab Oliver, cut his throat, and bleed all over the car, and then the car is magically painted out of his blood. You still have to sand the fucking car. There's nothing old school about what I'm doing. This is still, and that's why I say this. This is for my customers who drop off to me. And for people that are coming from Houston today, they're dropping off with me because they trust me. There are paint shops between me and Houston, 4-hour drive, maybe 5. Okay? But they come here because they trust my prep work. They know I know what I'm doing. Okay? This is not old school. This is still school. This is the way that you have to sand a car. If you have peeling paint and you're in a collision shop on a hood and you're doing a front clip, you're stripping the clip. You're stripping the front. You're stripping the hood. You're still using 80 grit on a DA. Maybe a big wheel, 8-inch, maybe.
Let's see. Mark says DA and 80 grit is my friend. Severe says, is that a 3M sander? I got the same one.
No.
This is actually a Harbor Freight. How long we had that one?
No, this is not the Harbor Freight. This is the one off of the internet.
Let's
like
see.
The Harbor
Lou says, in all my years of sanding, 57 years, I guess, with the DA, this old man has no clue what he's doing.
Yeah, you're not 50. You've not been doing this 57 years. I only know of 2 guys that are over the age of 80 that are still doing this. And you ain't one of them, dumbass.
Let's see. Please use a mask when sanding.
More than likely, that's Ollie. I guarantee you.
Colton says, I'd love to see you paint my Firebird on YouTube Live. What's a cool thing you have going on, JP? Actually, this right here, sanding this one. I mean,
right.
This one's going back yellow.
Yeah, we're doing this Nissan Ram, and we are painting it a yellow with rainbow flake to it.
Got a little bit of sanding. Good time, says JP and daughter. Good morning.
Who?
Good time, says JP and daughter. Good morning.
Good morning, good time. Candyman, you're never going to find the fucking disc. Just download it.
Glenn says, what do you use to lube your DA?
I use your mama.
DA oil. I said DA oil. I'm really high up in the comments. Good time says, can I ship you my tailgate?
No.
got a bunch of questions. Let me ask you the questions.
I don't want to be asked. I want to sand. Don't nobody want to hear from Ollie because we all know that he makes the fake account to ask the question because he doesn't know how to paint.
Ominous says, old heads not wearing masks, wondering why there's all kinds of medical issues going on. I was a former spray tech. My uncle was like you, said no PPE was his biggest regret.
Okay, so your uncle died like a retard, right? Because he smoked or he drank or he did drugs. Which one of those killed him, you fucking piece of shit? I've been at this for 40 years. Sometimes I wear a mask whenever I paint. Sometimes I don't. Depends on what's going on. Do I have health issues? No. I haven't been in a hospital in over 20 years. Well, I take that back. I think I was in there maybe 6 years ago whenever I broke something. I can't remember. But nobody's crying about medical bills. Do I have a GoFundMe page to pay some kind of non-existent medical bills? No, I don't. You stupid piece of shit. If you're afraid and your uncle died of emphysema, well, he died either because he was, inhaling Agent Orange over in Vietnam, or he was fucking smoking cigarettes while he was painting, or he was fucking drunk and died in a DUI that had nothing to do with fucking painting cars. You're a paint tech. No, you're not, you stupid piece of shit, because we don't call ourselves paint techs. We call ourselves painters, you dumb fuck. Please go eat a gun. Stick that in your mouth and pull the trigger.
Big says, how would someone get into this kind of work?
Depends on how stupid you are. And I mean that.
Let's see. How much is this job? It looks like a lot of work.
This one is none of your business. That's how much.
Let's see. Mark says, why don't these a-holes just watch and learn from JP? He does good work and knows what he's doing at an unbelievable price.
Because people like Oliver like to come on here under so many fake accounts and so many other fake names, mock, and then I make fun of them, and then they come back under another name, and then they ask the questions. Well, why did you do it this way? Why are you doing it that way? Because they don't know. They're not painters. They're applicators. It's like a hooker.
Glenn says, do you put anything in the inlet of the DA for lubrication?
Yeah, your mom. I put your mom's crotch in there, motherfucker.
We put the tool
and she
air.
Still says it's bigger than your dick.
Lloyd says the game has changed, old man. They don't work anymore.
What game has changed? What doesn't work anymore? Your stupidity or your ignorance? Which one?
Silly says, you give me Bill Murray vibes.
Thank you.
Good Time says, thanks, JP. Keep helping the people.
It should be. I've watched enough of Bill's movies throughout the years.
Let's see. Christopher says, what's this guy's address?
I'm in Runaway Bay. Why? You want a piece of me, bitch?
Texas. Let's see. Are you taller than 5'6"?
Yeah, I'm actually 6 foot. Any other questions?
Good Time says, give this man a Mountain Dew.
Yes.
And Bigger says, I like this guy. Okay, you can go back to sanding now.
Is that all of them?
Yeah, I finally reached the bottom.
How many people are in here?
290.
Who's got other questions? Who wants to know?
Real questions or just you want to rag on JP? Either one of those are funny. Let's see. I've done this for 40 years off and on, and I still learn a lot from JP. That's from Mark. Lloyd was saying this generation doesn't work.
Oh, no. Fuck no. This generation sits around on their ass, and then they want everything handed to them, and then they go, I'm a painter. I know. No, you don't. You don't know shit. You couldn't tell your dick from a knot in a tree. Dumbasses.
It's just sarcasm.
And they're like, he's angry.
AB says JP's a legend. He knows his crap.
I'm only a legend in my own mind, baby.
You're not grinding it right.
I know.
Jay says, does some of these techniques apply to painting a boat as well?
Painting what?
Boat.
I have no idea. I don't think so. Probably not.
I did body work with my uncle and hated every minute of it. LOL. It's from Alan.
What?
Alan says, I did body work with my uncle and hated every minute of it.
Yeah, I hate body work too. I'm not a body man.
Joe says, keep sanding like the good boy you are. Let's see. Regular says, how do you judge a shop's quality of work? I've tried body work for the better part of 20 years. I don't have a hand for it, but is there a way for a novice to judge who does quality work?
Who does quality work? Not unless you're standing there watching every aspect of what you're doing. Truthfully, there's no way to judge it. I'll give you an example. Mikey from New Edge. When you go on Mikey from New Edge's or Google him, you'll find comment after comment after comment along with proof, because this is important. A little piece of shit named Tic Tac Dan, he decided he wanted to go on Yelp, which I'm not even on Yelp, and screenshot a bunch of shots where I tell people go fuck yourself and stuff like that. And then he goes, he painted my car, but he's got no proof. And so Tic Tac Dan, being the cocksucker that he is, he made like, I don't know, 10 or 12. And then he comes on under a different name. And he goes, you should go read the guy's Yelp page. Because Tic Tac Dan claims to be a body man, but can't make videos about himself doing body work or videos about himself painting a car. But he's got pictures of himself standing there in, with a paint gun and a mask, but not doing anything. Now, we've had video capability for posting capabilities on videos for what? Well over 10 years now?
I'd say so, yeah.
If you own a fucking shop and all you've got are pictures, or you've got your little paint gun in one hand and your little camera in another, but your face is covered and you're, oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're a faker. Your painter is doing it, and then you run in there as a helper and video him claiming it's you.
Let's see. No Pal says, I want to be like him when I grow up. Good Time says, is this going to be yellow again?
Yeah, it's going back yellow. This will be back.
Someone says, rob the next customer you see.
Well, I mean, I'm not, but fucking, and he's shutting down, by the way. New Edge, he's shutting down. He's not doing any more cutting. He makes a claim that, I've had and this customer and I'm not. And no, he's shutting down because he doesn't have any work. He doesn't have any work because he's a crooked piece of shit. I called that 3 months ago when I said I'm going to give him probably 90 to 120 days before he has to shut his doors because he wanted to run his mouth and try to act like he was somebody that he's not. He's not a painter. What he is, him and his wife are drug dealers and scam artists.
Chris says, what kind of vehicle is that? Eric says it's a Nissan, Chris.
Right, Chris. This is a Nissan pickup truck.
It's a Nissan
it's
Ram.
Their newest one, 2025 Ram. Rammy.
Let's see.
So that's how you judge a quality of body shop like that.
As someone who's never done body work, how would I start? Well, find a dent.
Find a shop somewhere that's looking for a body man and tell them that you'll learn quick. Prove to them that you have a mechanical capabilities of working with your hand, and then they'll make you a body man to teach you.
Let's see. Do you have a website so I could send one of my vehicles to you? Reach out to Facebook page, JP Auto Paint. Dad.
And let me tell you this.
Glenn Sykes sent us a $10 gift. He said, "Go get you a case of Mountain Dews." This is because
Hey,
he's been
Glenn.
so grumpy.
Hey, Glenn, cough up another $3, man. They're $13. Don't be a tight ass. If you're gonna give me $10, tell me.
Don't
go get a
do
case
that.
of Mountain Dew.
Don't do that. Don't
I'm
send
just
him
kidding,
money.
man. Don't send us money. I appreciate that, but you don't have to do that.
That's funny.
Look, somebody was talking about how you judge a shop. Here's another thing too. Look up their criminal record. Like, I've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the people that I go after have criminal records for, scamming people. Okay, I don't just mean frivolous lawsuits. Like I said, the whore down in Houston running Revolting Paints. I've proven. She goes on her page and goes, "I built my formulas and I did this and I got them all and I did this because I know how formulas are and I've been in this industry molesting my daddy for years and so I know what I'm doing." Come to find out,
In the lawsuit, she actually stole the paint formulas that she's acquired, the ones that she claimed that she made. And see, all of that shit is easy to find. As a private investigator, what used to take me hours to dig up through phone calls, talking to cops and other people in their area, now just takes a few minutes by looking it up on the internet. Good Time says some of these shops screw paying customers for the ones that didn't pay.
Right? Some of them do. I mean, that's like that in every profession, Bubba. I mean,
Yeah, if that customer was mean to you and he didn't pay, I know there's some pretty crooked people that go, well, the next guy's going to pay for it.
right. And I won't, because if you try to shortchange me, I'll just keep your fucking car. And then I'll sell it to me at an auction for $1 and then I'll drive it. Or I'll take it out to the desert, set it on fire.
No Name says, how many cars you got in paint jail?
None.
I like the idea of paint jail, though.
None. But once I give my word on painting a car and we write it all down, that's the key. You write it down in the estimate. Once it's all written down, it doesn't matter where you go, what state you're in across America. When you have it written, they can't change that. They have to call you and then they have to get your signature. They have to do all kinds of things. Otherwise, they don't have to pay shit.
Is it a wasp?
No, it's just one of those.
Mofo wasp landed on my neck a minute ago. Let's see. Benzo's got a Dodge Ram 1500 just like this one. He needs a paint job from a man like you.
No, I'm sorry. This is a Nissan Rami. Nissan Rami. Brand new, 2029. Nissan Rami. Get a hold of us on JP Auto Paint.
Is it the same color? Is it yellow?
Yeah, it's going back yellow.
No, I mean, is his Benzo? Is yours yellow too?
Yeah, if yours is yellow, we're going to charge probably $3,000 to $5,000.
Good Time says this is better than church. Ooh, I hope not.
Jesus, man, what kind of fucking church do you go to?
Big says, what if I don't have a car to find a dent on? LOL. I guess you could kick someone's car and then tell them you'll do free body work on it.
No.
Let's see. Scott says it's Impala time.
Palatine.
Leo says, can you say my name, Grandpa?
What's your name?
Leo.
Dipshit? Wait, dipshit?
What are you, French now?
El fuckface? Nope, sure ain't.
Scott says, how do I get off of your hate list?
I don't know. What's the hate list? What have you done? What have you done, Scott? That's the question.
What have
I don't
you
have
done?
a hate list. I just have a no list.
What's a no list?
No list is where somebody goes, hey, man, I want you to paint my car. And I go, okay, no problem. We can do that. Hey, can you pull the parts? Can you pull the lights and the door handles and stuff? No, I don't do that, and I don't make it a secret that I don't do that. Okay, well, I'll pull them. Well, then good. You go ahead and pull them. You can paint them. I'm not going to take your car. So there's a no list.
Let's see. Benzo says his is black. His Nissan Ram.
Okay, yeah, it's just $800. Go back, same color.
What are you about to 80 grit? Oh, I didn't even see that.
There's a lot of shit you don't see.
Well, I 80 this side, which is why I was asking. I probably would have just 400 that.
Oh, would you now?
I would.
Yeah.
What clear do you spray?
I spray the kind that you can get. Oh, yeah. Everybody see the guy who was, well, I guess you don't. But there was a young kid, I guess, who was charged with rape out of the falls up there. Was it
Wichita Falls.
Right? And so I guess his daddy reached out going, I'm famous. You need to Google me. So I Googled him, right? Because he's like, I've got a car and I'm famous and I want it done. And I went, no, thank you. And he went, why not? You wouldn't take my famous car? I went, no, I'm not interested. Good luck. I'm a pretty nice guy when I try to be, right? Like, you know, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. And then finally it's like, well, you should just do a little insight on who I am. Okay, like I'm expecting to find a dude who commits murders and then tries to eat the bodies or something like that. Somebody that I may have to deal with pretty quickly, pretty fastly. And so all I get is an obituary for a dead guy. So I figured, well, nope, that's not you. Dead guy's not reaching out for me, calling himself famous. And then comes a rapist, right? So I posted it up because it's number 2 on Google. I said, so this is you, huh? I definitely don't want to fucking do it. And so then he goes on to run his mouth a little bit more. No, that's not me, but that's a cool story, right? So I just left it at that. We just left it at that. That was on one of the TikToks. So I left it at that. Next thing I know, I get a psycho daughter, his daughter, who starts talking about how crazy and insane she is, and you know the world comes to an end whenever she starts moving. And so I find it amusing a little bit, and I'm still trying to be nice to her, going, look, you need to stop. Your dad doesn't want this kind of publicity. You need to stop. Bird, what was it? BYRD or B-Y-
Something out of Wichita Falls.
BRE, yeah.
Out of Wichita Falls.
Out of Wichita Falls, right? And so she's still running her mouth, right? So I finally said, well, then you do whatever you got to do, sweetheart. But I'm going to tell your daddy that he needs to get a hold of your dumb ass and try to calm you down because you want to start a fire and you're about to get all the fire that you can handle. And so I tell her dad, got back on there and say, hey, dude, man, you need to get a hold of your daughter because she's trying to start shit that really doesn't need to be started that you really don't want. So I didn't see it, but it was said that he said, yeah, you're in a world of trouble.
About his own kid?
Yeah. He said she can do whatever she wants.
I saw her picture. I actually thought she was a boy at first. So I actually commented that. I literally thought she was like a 12-year-old kid. And so I was like, little boy, you just need to chill out.
But anyway.
I think that made her crazier.
Anyway, she started the whole shit. And I just blocked her and moved on. Well, come to find out, that's her cousin or her brother. I'm still trying to figure that out. Who actually did rape someone.
She said she knew who he was.
And the guy has the last name of them. So it's either a son or, you know, something like that.
Something creepy.
But so far I haven't heard anything else. But I just thought I'd mention it.
Let's see if
that's why I mentioned it. Because later on, and I get kind of fed up with this. Later on, like, I don't know, 3 days after the conversation that I have with this fool, He comes back and goes, "Oh, look how far you've fallen. You've gone from a shop into a shed. You don't know anything about what you're doing," even though you wanted me to paint your piece of shit car.
They always say that whenever they get turned away.
Right. When you get turned away, they always go, "I wouldn't let you." Really? Then why did you ask me to paint it, you stupid fuck?
I know, right? Let's see. How do you match older paint?
You don't.
You blend.
Blend.
Hope
And
that-
then the older paint, once you clear it, still ain't going to match because it's older clear. And it doesn't matter whether you wet sand and buff it or not. The UV has killed the pigmentation.
especially on like yellows or reds, it dies quicker
Right.
than others. Let's see. Dobie says living legend.
Where?
Benzo says if I wanted to go from a black to a blue, how much would it be for this exact truck?
$900 for the outside of it. We don't charge but $100 more.
Let's see. Scott says I'm digging the shed.
You know, it's a place to work, and I feed my family out of it.
What is buzzing me?
I don't know, but it keeps buzzing me too.
Okay. Well, you can go back to work.
How many people we got now?
79.
Yeah. That was my whole rant. Don't come at me asking me to paint a car and then turn around when I tell you no and go, "You don't know how to paint." Really? Somebody gave us $10 for Mountain Dew?
Glenn did.
Goddamn, Glenn, you're an alright kind of guy. Thank you.
You've already been mean to him once today. He was the one that kept asking about the lube.
Oh, Glenn, it makes me feel bad now, man. I use the shit out of it. It's just tool oil.
Tool. Yeah, try saying that one.
Tool oil. That's all it is. Just regular tool oil.
Yeah, what's it like $5-10 out of Harbor Freight?
Yeah, I think maybe 5.
But have you used regular oil like WD-40 or
Not WD-40.
or
but
oil
yeah,
you put in a car?
Motor oil, yeah.
Motor oil,
You
yeah.
should. No,
But it does the trick.
yeah. Man, why didn't you tell me? Why did you tell me that was Glenn that I was causing trouble with? Now I feel guilty and bad. Now I got regurts.
Rick Gertz.
I got regurts.
Do you spray door jams?
I do if I'm paid. I do $300 per door jam.
Yeah.
Ow, okay, there. I was mean to Glenn, and now I got my finger mashed, so we're even, Glenn.
Benzo says those a man's words, feeding his family with hard labor.
Absolutely.
Robert says, hi guys.
And I do it with a smile.
Scott
like
says,
once a year.
I literally do not know how to paint. Hook a brother up with painting his Impala.
Okay, what do you want? You need to know something. What is it that you need to know? Ask me questions. If I'm in the mood, I'll answer them.
Big says, let this man work. I'm trying to watch and learn.
It's not a whole lot to learn, man. You just want to take stuff like this that's off. You want to make it look pretty. Stuff like this where the paint's not peeling or anything, you could 400 that and it'll still stick. It'll be okay.
But if it's peeling, you should take it off.
Right. And Cynthia and I differ. I don't want to piss around, play games, and take 400 and waste a bunch of 400. You can. And then that way, if you wanted to just base it, you could just base it. You wouldn't have to do anything. But I'm not in that mindset. I'm in the mindset that time is money. And so 80 grit will cut this shit off in a matter of a heartbeat. Then I can come back through and prime it.
What's the lowest grit you'll go?
What do you mean?
The lowest grit sandpaper you'll go for sanding?
80 grit. I don't use 36 or 24.
How come?
Just because it's just more shit. Body man. People like Bondo Billy, because he should. He's a body man. He'll use 36 grit on, like stripping a hood or whatever with a big wheel 180. A big
With
wheel
a grinder.
With a grinder. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then he has to go back with 40 grit, 80 grit, 180, and then 220. I won't do that. I'll 80 grit it, 180, and then prime it and let her eat.
There's less steps to it.
Right. And that's just me.
Let's see. Jer says, do you offer color change, including doors and trunk jams and all that?
Sure, I do. But I mean, it's expensive.
Boy, that sanded off quickly. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Right. Whenever you get cuts like this, you can take them out with 80 grit, but yeah, you can take them out with 400 grit, but I got to tape stuff up anyway, so I'm going to cut it with 80 and then prime it. What?
Glenn says, that's why I sent you that, LOL. He's trying to make you feel bad.
I'm sorry, Glenn.
No, you just knew he needed a Mountain Dew. Like, you know how people need Snickers? Pops needs Mountain Dews.
Makes me feel bad. Here, Glenn, let me show you. I never do this. I never go out of my fucking way to do this. I think this is stuff that we bought at like Home Depot. Home Depot or Lowe's, they've got it in there too. Everybody does. It's just machine oil. It's what goes into air tools and stuff. So make sure you got an air tool and not a electric DA.
Yeah, it might be a bad
Well,
idea.
I mean, I'm serious. Sometimes people have electric DA, and I don't know anything about electric DAs. And so sometimes maybe they'll flip it over and try to get it into the gears. I don't know.
Let's see. Are you filming on a 2001 toaster? Yes, definitely.
Well, I mean, what are you taking pictures with? Because you're not posting up any videos. All you got is pictures.
They said the video is blurry. Is it still blurry? It could just be because I'm walking deeper into the shed.
Let me see.
No, the screen isn't blurry.
Let go.
The camera.
See the boob?
That was the side of your stomach, Dad. And what have you done?
I fixed it. Made it better. What did you do? I made it better.
Is lower grit rougher?
Yeah, the lower the grit, the rougher it is.
That's literally what Aaron said, word for word. Yes, the lower the grit, the rougher it is.
Yeah. 36
Is that a
grit,
slogan? 36
grit, you can see almost individual little sand there that, are on the sandpaper.
Let's see. So scratches and peeling paint you want to focus on.
Well, we do, yeah, because it's part of our process. Peeling paint, yes, definitely, always. Because even if you just sand this down, smooth it out, and then you base it and re-clear it, there's still a problem underneath of it, and it will lift your new paint up. So you sand it off. You get rid of it. Scratches, well, I mean, you don't have to sand them out, but I mean, you're going to prime it anyway. Might as well.
Let's see. Is that a 1990s truck?
Yeah, this is a 1999, 2029 Nissan Rami.
1500.
That's what they call it.
Glenn says, great, thanks. All I needed, you POS, LOL. Really driving that knife in.
Fuck you, Glenn. My kindness only goes so far. I bet he fucking canceled it at $10 now. Give me my $10 back. I got what I needed.
I got your apology. Let's see. Bake says, I see. Thank you.
I see, says the blind man. Holding the skunk pointed at his face.
What's better for longevity, paint or a wrap?
It depends. If your shit looks like this, a wrap ain't going to do it because it's going to peel off in probably a year or less. It's all about what you want. I mean, wraps have some cool colors to them that paint just doesn't have.
Like the chrome stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll probably last. The color will probably last a lot longer than it would in a paint job too.
I mean, it depends. Everything is all dependent upon how well you take care of it. If you don't wash the wrap, or you wash the wrap too aggressively, always going through a car wash with brushes that are slapping it, at some point it's going to peel, and it won't take long.
No matter what you got.
Right.
See, Glenn says, love y'all, brother. Let's see. Bigger says, my grandma says that too.
Right.
This says the blind man thing.
Right.
Will you spray an extra coat of paint and or clear on this one?
We're going to have to because he's going with a big
Flake.
Yeah, big flake. So we'll clear it and then come back in a day or two, sand it down, and then re-clear it.
What brand sander is that?
One we bought off of
Is that the $30 one off Amazon? I
Yeah,
thought that was a
30
Harbor Freight one.
No, it's $35.
They look the same.
They probably were selling them in Harbor Freight, and then Harbor Freight got those shitty ones.
God, is that a crappy sander? Let's see. Eddie says hello from the Netherlands.
Hello, Eddie.
John Parham says, what are we working on now?
We're working on this 2029 Nissan Rammy. It's called a Rammy, not a Dodge Ram, but a Rammy Nissan.
It's going back the same color yellow, and we're adding a whole bunch of flake to it.
Yep, rainbow flake. You guys have me adding so much rainbow flake to so many cars out there. We're going to have to buy more rainbow flake.
Yeah, actually, that 85 Oldsmobile that's sitting outside, that one's going
Midnight
chameleon.
Blue.
No, that one's going chameleon with rainbow flake. That's what you've been wanting to do forever. So we finally gave Dad permission. Pirate King says, real bodymen use snap-on tools.
Yeah, you're right, kid. The really stupid ones go into debt forever and owe the Snap-on man everything. Go ahead. Whatever you want.
Let's see. John says, once you chip a wrap, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's always going to peel off.
Same thing. You chip a paint job, you kind of fucked.
Yeah, but you could kind of touch it up and it won't just like completely rip off the rest of it.
Right.
It won't lift up.
How many people we got?
96.
Hey, we went back up.
How do I wrap rims?
I don't know. I don't do that shit. There are guys out there that do. They can show you.
Roadside Rob says, you're a pro, brother.
I appreciate a roadside, Rob.
What grit are you using?
80 grit right now.
Let's see. Daniel says, nice car. Everyone says, yep, it's a 2029. DeBoss says, what size tip are you shooting the bigger flake in?
I shoot everything with a 1.4. I mean, you can shoot it with a 1.8 or a 2.0, but I shoot just fine with a 1.4.
Glenn Sykes says, I never cared for the flakes.
Some people do, some people don't. Oh, that reminds me, man. We heard from Crew Mustang the other day.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, he loves his car.
He sent pictures of it?
No,
Dang
I don't
it.
think he's wet sanded buffed it yet. He's like everybody else in America.
Yeah, they
especially in
work.
Atlanta. If I remember right, he couldn't originally come back in the same truck because he blew the transmission up and something got fucked up with the electronics. So I'm sure he's spending just about every waking moment he can to fucking fix that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But he's happy with it. What is it?
There's a wasp nest on the back of the air compressor. I'm not even playing.
Holy shit! And they're wasps.
How are they surviving?
Oh, the heat.
But that thing's vibrating like crazy.
Look at these motherfuckers.
What?
Y'all want to dance, huh?
Oh, the spiders.
Yeah, I hate.
Boy, everything is out to kill you now in Texas. We had a lot of rain.
Where's the pistol?
Do you have any wasp killer in here? Are you seriously looking?
No, look, I put my priorities first. The 8-legged motherfuckers got to go first.
Really? They're not even that bad.
Where? I see one. Okay, there's the other one.
I think you missed that one.
You can think all you want.
And you attached the...
There's his guts. I smooshed him, but the other one, yeah, I missed him.
Ugh.
Okay, wasps. There ain't nothing in this. Here's a flying aggravation. So you may want to run out. And make no mistake about it, I'm going to run your ass over when these start flying.
It's a rule of theory. The cameraman never dies. There literally isn't.
Where'd he go?
He flew out the door. He buzzed right by me. That's flying insect raid. That's not gonna do nothing. There ain't nothing in it.
Maybe.
He was just starting to build. Weren't you just using the air compressor yesterday?
I was using the air compressor 30 seconds ago.
I know, but this mofo like took over, acted like this is his place now.
Oh, there was a baby wasp in there. He did.
Well, I didn't have that on my 2025 agenda. Wasp nest.
Hate spiders, hate wasps.
Well, now the insect portion of this is over with.
I ain't turned it off.
You got a lot to use out of it. Scott says, what color flake would you use to make it look like a dark cherry? We used the red rum flake.
Yeah, red rum flake from Tropical Bliss.
It was
Over top of black.
Yeah, it was like a black
That's how we
cherry.
got that effect. But otherwise, they're so red cherry, you don't need a flake to do it.
But if you wanted it in flake form, that's what we used.
Go grab me a Mountain Dew.
Okay. The web funnel spiders like those, they're on the other side of the tire connected to the wall over there. So don't walk through there. It's quite the web. I just walked through there yesterday and they weren't there.
Quite the kerfuffle.
is Rainbow Flake?
If you go look, we have a black Marauder or Crown Vic that if you look at, I've sanded and then re-cleared. The flake is like an oil slick. It changes colors as you look at it.
It's really cool.
Don't you motherfuckers rat me out none neither. Y'all know it. Okay, now I'll show you how to get rid of a sticker.
The sticker?
The sticker. You're going to want to come around here so you can see.
I will sit over here.
You need to turn the fan on in front.
We do. It's getting quite warm in here.
Now, I'm going to help all you kids that don't know how to read. This says Nisane.
So you tried sanding it with 80 grit first?
Nisane. Yeah, I was going to.
And it didn't come off easy.
No, so it's a new one. So you take a razor blade. Yeah, that's a brand new one. That's also blue, not black.
It looks black.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. That is blue.
Holy shit. Sorry, John.
Would an eraser wheel work just as well?
Yeah, it would if I had one.
Let's see. Davester says, oh crap, the Snap-on guy's coming. I'm going to go hide and tell him I'm not here. Yeah, ain't that the way it worked? Or the Cornwell tool guy?
First place the Snap-on guy went in Northern Virginia was to all the shitters.
He's just stand outside, knock on the door.
No, he'd go inside the shitters.
Would you recommend spray over a wrap even with filler in some spots?
You do whatever you want. It's what you like, guy. I don't tell people get a wrap, don't get a wrap, get a paint, don't get a paint. It's whatever you like, whatever you want. Wraps are expensive.
Jer says, would you consider hiring an apprentice one day if you had enough jobs?
No.
Glenn, I was very hesitant to read that, but now that I see what you meant, okay. He says, I'd like to do a white pearl on my wife's 2022 CRV. It initially said crab.
You want me to give your wife crabs? All right, what did he want? A white pearl?
Yeah, pearl white on a 2022 CRV.
CRV.
That's the SUV.
Yeah, if you're changing the color, it's just $900 for the outside. If it's white already, and then you just want to add a pearl white, we could do it for $8.
Let's see. Pirate says you got water in the line. We do.
Duh! What was your first clue?
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. We had to take the filters off because they weren't working.
Well,
we haven't replaced them
working.
yet.
They were causing a problem with the airflow. Like there was no airflow coming out of it, so I had to take them off.
Right, it was actually.
And
stopping.
yes, I just haven't gotten down to Harbor Freight. The closest Harbor Freight's over an hour away from me. I live in the country. When I mean I live in the country, I live in a fucking country. It's an hour to Target, Walmart, down in Weatherford. Or Mineral Wells.
Cowboy says, hi, morning, JP. How's your day going?
It's going pretty good, man. You ain't left yet for Canada?
I wouldn't say it's going that great. We've killed 2 spiders. There's a funnel wrap of spiders over here on the passenger side. And we just found out there was a wasp nest on the backside of the air compressor, which we just had to deal with. Does that sum it up? Plus, it's getting boiling hot out here.
Wow, that's really far behind.
It is. I'm showing him the live.
Did it just shut off?
No, I'm just showing him the live currently.
And yes, whenever you're sanding off names and stuff, no matter what they are, you want to just take them all the way down, because if you just prime over this, you'll see the E, the G, and the E. So you want to make sure you get it all off.
Have you ever traveled outside of the U.S.?
Yeah, I've been to Mexico. I've been to Canada. Went down to South America back whenever Ortega owned the place. Went and visited a brother of mine who was in the Army down there at the Panama Canal.
Let's see. Cowboy says, no, I'm going to Canada in a month. Glenn Sykes says, use that $10.99 to get you a good inline filter, you cheap B-word. That's funny.
I just haven't been to the fucking... No, that's Mountain Dew money, bitch. It's been designated as Mountain Dew money. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, we just haven't been to.
I haven't been to
Freight.
Harbor Freight yet to get one.
When Dad says he lives in the country, he means he lives in the country. There ain't nothing around. The little city, Runaway Bay, it calls itself a city, but literally there's only 2 businesses in it, other than the 3 churches and the 3 banks. Is 2
There's
gas
only 2
stations.
banks.
Okay, 2 banks, whatever. Is literally 2 gas stations. That's it.
You know what the guy
And
said?
us, I guess we're a business now in Runaway Bay.
You can't. You don't want to rob a gas. You don't want to rob a bank with the best donuts in 3 counties around you.
That's true. Let's see. Jamie says, thanks for making videos. I really enjoy them.
You're welcome. Oh look, that's broke.
Cowboy says, yeah, don't F with JP's Mountain Dew. Hell, I'll fight you. Yeah, he's got to have his 48 pack. Isn't that why they're $10, $12 a piece?
24 pack.
24 pack. Yeah. Do you both work on these projects?
Yes.
Normally.
Didn't I tell you if you're gonna put me on TikTok, you better tell me, otherwise we're gonna get kicked.
I was just about to tell you I'm going live on TikTok, but you started sanding. What's a person supposed to do? Is that better? I put some light on.
No, it is not. Turn it off. So, Cowboy, are you one of the smoke jumpers they're always talking about? Since you're up there in Colorado and stuff, and you're going to fight a forest fire.
One of the crazy ones.
Yeah, you're one of the dudes that jumps out of airplanes into the fire.
To be fair, I think all of you are crazy when you play with fire. You sure the spiders are dead?
Yeah, I know one of them is. The other one jumps out. I can hammer him.
got some questions here. Let's see. How do I get your contact information?
JP Auto Paint Works on Facebook. That's where we are.
What city are you in?
Runaway Bay, Texas.
Let's see. Does he know what he's doing? This is all from TikTok.
When I do your mother, yes, I know just exactly what she wants.
That's actually really funny. Let's see. Cowboy says, no, I'm on the engine crew, but I was a hot shot for a while.
Okay, so you were a hot shot. You did jump out of airplane. You still jumping, or you quit doing that?
Are you going to paint the inside of the bed?
No.
And Angie says hello. That was also from Angie.
Hello, Angie.
Pirate King says you're better off using 120.
Right. I'm using 80 grit. I think I'll do what the professionals been doing forever. Thank you.
Silly says he is dialed in. He was sanding quickly. Let's see. What does JP stand for on your profile name?
John Perkins.
Scott says you should have mounted your compressor outside.
Well, I could mount it right up your ass like I normally would.
Crybaby says, hi, Dad. I missed you.
I'm not your daddy. You're too stupid.
Keep the sander flat. That's how you get low spots.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was talking about you losers like that all the time. You don't know what a low spot is. You don't know what a high spot is. You don't even know how to do restoration work because I'm doing a daily driver. This is something that every daily driver shop in the world does. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about how flat it is. You're not doing a restoration. In fact, if you're touching a restoration with a DA, you're an idiot. You don't know a goddamn thing about what you're doing, sweetheart.
Brennan says, literally doing this to my bed right now. Prepping mine for a $500 DIY paint job as well. That's cool. And you know what? You could paint your truck for $500.
Yeah.
Bro, you're drinking clear in that Mountain Dew.
Why? Because you're a dumbass? That's clearly the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why would you say that, dumbass?
Let's see. How long does it take?
5 months.
Jack Park says, my initials are JP2. Mm-hmm. Cowboy says, no, smoke jumpers are different. Right. Smoke jumpers, they jump out of the plane. Hot shots walk in.
Oh, hot shots walk in. I didn't know that. I thought they were called jumpers, but okay.
Well, they're both just as crazy.
Okay, so you're walking into the fire.
Daniel says, by the way, greetings from Indonesia.
Thank you.
A says, are you happy with your life?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be? I've been married for 37 years. I live the way I want to live. I'm debt free. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty fucking happy.
Crybaby says, you look like Matt Damon. I can't say I've ever heard that.
Don't fucking call me that again. That's your only warning. Don't make me hit you down.
He looks like Andy Reid. Ever since I saw that, I can't unsee it. Let's see. Tuna says, you breathed in too much paint dust.
I can't indulge scaredy cats, people who are afraid to live their life.
Scaredy cats.
I also inhaled a whole lot of, okay, we're on
TikTok. Jack Park says, my initials are JP2.
Yes. You ready?
Wait, are you JP, like literally the number 2? How much for a 2015 Cadillac?
Cadillac makes a whole lot of things.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Max says, try 40 grit. It's faster, LOL.
Or I can just turn the DA up.
Hey, guys from the UK.
Hey.
Greetings from Greece.
Greece.
That's a new one. Joel says, this guy wishes he could paint.
And yet, all I do is show videos of me painting. Whereas you show pictures of cars that you have not painted. You know, the video has been around for well over 10 years to upload on stuff. And yet you just take pictures, which means you're not a real painter, which means you're not a real person, which means you have no real balls. You're not a real man. Now what? Now what, sissy boy?
Cowboy says, yeah, we do the same thing, but one jumps in and the other walks in. Hell, they even have a hell attack guys that do the same, but they rappel in.
They air assault in.
Wow.
I've had friends who were firefighters. I've worked a couple of fires as an officer, you know, first on scene kind of stuff. And you guys are nuts.
Good morning from New Zealand, brother. That's from South Coast, Wellington, New Zealand. Dale says, "What's up?"
What's up?
Chase says he's paying to have a good job, not have a low spot in his tailgate.
So he doesn't want to fix this dent, this dent, this dent, this dent, this dent, these dents, this dent, this dent, this dent, this dent. The dents on the hood, the roof, and the bedsides. I don't think this man cares about that because, look, special needs boy. The paint's peeling off. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's a daily driver. Again, you know nothing about daily drivers. You know nothing about automotive collision. So don't start with me, dude. Like I said, you're not showing videos. You're showing pictures. You're so far behind the times, it's not even funny. And you're younger than I am.
Let's see. Should you use an orbital sander or should you hand sand everything?
Yeah, you should hand sand everything. You need the exercise. You haven't seen your pecker in years. You need the exercise. Hand sand it.
Axe says, I took my truck to some sound shop and they messed it up. Now I have to pay $800 to $1,000 to rewire everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care.
Gavin says, how long should you let a 2K clear coat cure before you drive it?
At least 24 hours. I mean, we paint one. If I painted one and I was done with it right now, they could pick it up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Safety Man says, I wish you were my dad.
No, you don't.
Let's see. Allie says, Mountain Dew is bad for you.
Yeah, so's your mom, but I still humped her.
How much to paint an F-250 Super Duty? It's black, but it's gold color now? Oh, it's gold now. He wants it black.
$900 to change the outside color.
Slink says, what's the best primer to use on a 79 Ford?
Probably lacquer primer.
Randall says, you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Should you... oh, wait, I already read that one. Slink says, I'm eventually going to paint it after I do all the body work.
Yeah.
You do a good job, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
We're in Runaway Bay, Texas. Skin says, what grit should I use to get off surface rust?
Do what?
What grit should I use to get off surface rust?
80. 80 would be the fastest.
Let's see. Your painting skills are out of this world. I've seen your videos now. That's from John Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Crybaby says, love that they let you still paint at the mental institution, Dad.
That's cute. You think that the inmates are in charge of the asylum, but I'm not an inmate in either one.
Daniel says, you have silver hair with a golden heart.
No. I don't have any.
He rejects it.
I don't have any hair, and I don't have a golden heart. It's funny how all the TikTok guys that talk so much shit can't produce their work. Man, you guys call me a hack. I call you guys butchers because you're so afraid to show your own work and name the shop that you work for.
MBS says, why not invest in good tools?
What makes you think I don't have good tools, sissy baby? Where is it that you think I'm lacking in tools? I mean, what kind of tool do you need?
Yeah, if you can't get the job done with the basics, then you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Let's see. A 2015 Cadillac XTX.
Block him. He's just too stupid to respond to anymore.
Digger says, howdy from Canada.
Fuck you. It's uneven. Oh no, there's waves in it. Show me where the waves are, bitch. guess you don't use a true high build primer, but that's what you get whenever you're using 2K sissy shit. Oh no, did I upset you? Yes, I did. Why? Because you're commenting on my page. That's how I know you're upset. That's how I know that you're mentally broken.
What is this truck?
It's a Nissan. It's a 2029 Nissan Ram.
Let's see. Mike says it's rougher than a weekend in jail with beer cans in the bed. Like I showed, there's nothing.
Mike, stop using that analogy because you've never been to jail and it shows.
Corey says 2K primer is okay for basic stuff like covering body work or basic blocking though, right?
No, I don't like it. You do whatever you want with it.
Are you in Gastonia?
No, I am not in Gastonia.
We're in Texas.
I'm in the U.S. fucking A of America.
Let's see. Mac Ryan says hi.
Wait, I'm waiting for a Karen to come in and call me a gatekeeper. I want them to use that wrong again.
Glenn says, you were a cop, 28 years, retired here. I knew you were an a-hole for a reason, LOL.
I just did some part-time stuff, man. It wasn't like I was a deputy. I worked for the sheriff's department.
Scott says, the nonsense people talk about on this chat is amazing.
It is, isn't it? What kind of nonsense are they talking about?
Just the nonsense.
Stupid shit that they don't know anything about?
Yes. See, Icy says, hi from Minnesota, painting an old aluminum boat on a budget. What do you recommend? Aluminum?
Aluminum. I know you should be using on bare aluminum You better be using etch primer. Self-etch primer.
Where are you located? I need my charger sprayed.
We're in Runaway Bay, Texas.
T. Elder says if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
It is easy because everybody tells me they do it. And that they're better than me.
Andrew says, y'all are Texans now. I like to think so. Thank you. We've been down here 4 years now. I watched, if you guys don't know, follow Andrew Pina on
Cowboy.
on TikTok.
That guy paints
Man, how do I-
airplanes.
He does. I watched a video. There was like 4 of them that were painting a little jet.
Jet. Little Lear jet.
That was crazy. To have to lay on your back underneath the wing and spray up. I never really thought about the logistics of that. That's the only, you have to wear the Pillsbury Doughboy suits.
Yeah, otherwise you come home covered.
Yeah. Let's see. Ozen says, hello from Ireland.
Hey, Ireland. How the hell are you?
Bryson says, I love how people can just run their mouth when I can just look at this guy and tell he knows more than a thing or two.
Thank you.
How do I contact you? Got some questions, just a couple.
Huh?
Got just a couple questions. We ran out of etch wipes at my shop, and I had to start using etch primer on metal. It's pretty good. What are etch wipes? I've never heard of that.
I have no idea.
How do I book with you?
JP Auto Paint works on Facebook. Takes 5 months from the time you drop it off to the time.
Do y'all sand down the cars at $400?
No, I usually just lick them.
What does a $400 paint job look like?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have any pictures of me painting them or me standing beside them after they're done or showing videos of them around.
How do I contact you to get a paint job done? Love the shop and your personalities.
JP Auto Paint workout and personalities. I've only got one.
He could mean my personality.
Yeah,
I'm the
that's
nice
dog
one
bone
behind the
here.
camera.
There's a dog bone in here.
Oh yeah, must have been thrown in there.
No, well.
That's not from. It's not from him. It's ours. It's ours.
Oh, okay.
Digging holes with that DA. LOL.
Just like I was digging them with your wife.
Oh, mic drop. What grit? 240 or 180? Yeah, he's using 400 now.
This is 400. I was using 80.
He's sanding it yellow now. That's what it looks like. Smoking Keto says out in JP, Texas.
That's my town now, bitch. We're out in JP Auto Paint land. Fuck you, Texas.
How long do you wait after base coat to clear coat?
I go right back into it pretty immediately. The only time I wait is if it's wintertime and it's cold.
Bryson says JP's too slick with those comebacks. He is. JP, give him hell, brother.
Huh?
BG says, JP, give him hell, brother. Steve says, is this a cut and polish?
Yeah, I'm cutting and polishing it. Just like Turbine and Ollie paints. I'm cutting it down with 220, and then we're going to go all the way up to 180, and then we're going to buff it. We put 4 gallons of clear, so now I've got to sand off 3.5, so that way the customer can come back to me in a year.
Do you ever use Scotch Brights?
Yeah, I use them all the time for all the edges.
Crybaby says, "Why are you so cute today?"
Because I'm a sexy fucking monkey, baby.
Someone says, "Buff your lard stomach."
Buff my large stomach. You mean my sexy 56-year-old ass? I have the reflexes of a fucking cat, while you have the reflexes of a fucking skunk that turns around and shits himself when it gets scared.
Let's see. I've never seen Big Bird and him in the same room, but the yellow hands are very telling. This yellow, Dad has a problem when he sprays red. He gets the red paint everywhere. Will it happen with yellow? Will you get yellow everywhere?
I don't know, but you know, it's funny. I saw a young lady yesterday making a video, and she goes, same thing. I never get paint on my hands. Look at all the red. Her hands are as red as mine. Very good, Danielson. Very good.
Let's see. Eddie says, funny, but like he really is sanding it yellow. Yeah, that would be because there's no clear over it, and this is just base. So when you sand base, it sands the color that it is. Or single stage will also sand the color that it is.
This isn't single stage.
Well, no, I know that because we've sanded off clear. That, like, if he sands the very bottom of the truck, it's going to sand white.
Do what?
Like when you sand the bottom of the truck, it'll sand white because there's clear still there. Let's see. Richard says, man, I really want to bring you one of my cars. Richard says, I want to bring you one of my cars.
No, thank you.
Do you do pinstripes?
Yes.
What grit sandpaper are you using?
400 right now.
Let's see. John says $400 paint and then $2,500 on the new molding and trim. Oh, Lord, Dad, have you destroyed his molding and trim?
First of all,
it's not gutted.
First of all, I want to know who is fucking you over for $2,500
On molding.
This stuff right here, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I think this is like $5 over fucking Pep Boys.
I think one of these windows is $300.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. Okay, now what? now what? So we've, like everybody else, I've proven what a retard, not very smart person you are. So what now? Are you going to start flagging it so that I can get taken off of TikTok because you feel like you're being bullied?
Let's see. He sprays solvent base.
Yes.
I need my car done.
Good for you.
Send info.
No thanks. If you're too stupid to look at my page and know where I'm at, I'm not going to tell you where.
Let's see. You can mess all my moldings up if you're going to paint my truck for $600. LOL.
Do what?
That blue says, the blue F350 says, you can mess all my moldings up if you're going to paint my truck for $600. LOL.
Oh no, I paint trucks at 800.
But we don't mess up any moldings.
I don't mess up anybody's anything.
Abe says, we'll be there next week with my truck, boss.
Takes 5 months to do.
Till we get that garage built. How's that dust taste? Like bananas.
Tastes like your mama's Krabby Crunch. I like it.
I knew Dad was going to say that. How much to do a square body? I've never seen a square body. I've only seen round ones. Hey, can you bring me a stool? Thank you, Dad. See, I'm a good kid. I asked.
And I gave.
Let's see. XO says, my favorite TikTok host.
Yeah.
How much for a 2004 GMC Yukon?
$800. Plus it's red.
How much to repaint 2024 Nissan Titan?
$800 plus it's red.
Use a Scotch-Brite.
For my edges, yes, I already do that.
Rick says, is it pink?
Yes.
Eddie says, I have a project car, but you're too far away. How much for a 2010 Toyota Corolla? Dad, how much for a 2014 Dodge Challenger?
$500.
How much for a Toyota Corolla 2010?
$400.
How much for an 81 Buick Regal?
$1,500 to $1,800.
2010 Dodge Challenger.
$500.
Why is red more? I've always heard red costs more, but I've never heard why.
Because it costs more money, and if you don't like it, then go somewhere else. I'm tired of explaining it. Have been explaining it for 4 years on these stupid platforms. Go away. Next.
That's it. How much for a 94 satellite?
What?
94 satellite.
94 satellite what? The kind you ship into space? Go get those powder coats.
The Dodge Challenger, if it wanted purple and black, is it still $500?
No, it's $700.
How much for an 04 Trailblazer?
$800.
Where do we find you?
Runaway Bay, Texas.
Let's see. Love your videos. That's from Rob. Sorry. Where are y'all located? Oh, wait, I already answered that one.
Runaway Bay, Texas.
2016 GMC Sierra.
$800.
Do we paint just parts?
No.
2014 Dodge Charger SE.
$500.
Trucker says it's a 94 Saturn SL2.
Oh, Saturn.
It must have autocorrected.
$500.
How much for a 69 Camaro?
Probably $2,000.
71 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000.
What do you think of an LMC truck?
I don't know what an LMC truck is.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Daniel says, let the man sand. He dropped it. How much for a 92 Camaro?
$500 unless it's red, and then it's $7.
How much for an 03 Passat?
$400.
Oh,
red.
That ended.
Why?
I don't know. Probably bullying. Were you bullying somebody on TikTok?
I was.
What's the very reason? I'm pushing the playback for the playback video.
I did it 20 minutes ago, so they
I think one
decided.
of these windows is $300.
Yeah.
This you were.
Yeah. No. Okay. Now what? now what?
Is this where you said?
Like everybody else, I've proven what a retard, not
Yeah.
person you are. No, see, you can't get me for that because I didn't say retard. Flagging it so that I can get taken off. Yeah, see, that's what they wanted to do. They just
Hate
wanted to flag
speech.
it. Little faggots, little butt fucking fags.
What have I said about that word 1,000 times on YouTube?
Little butt fucking bitches sitting around fucking each other in the ass. All because they don't like somebody. Oh, he hurt my feelings because he's smarter than I am and he knows more than me. Let me cry like a little bitch. Probably that fucking bald-headed fucking monkey up there in Montana. Ollie Paints, you little queer bitch.
LMC is an aftermarket GMC.
What?
LMC is an aftermarket GMC. Never heard of that. People are sensitive. That's from Giga. It's
Yeah,
very true.
bunch of crybaby
TikTok is
bitches.
especially sensitive. Head has to be packed in dust, red and black. The dark colors need more prep because they show everything under the surface.
Okay, retard. English words. Let's use them in a sentence.
Talking about why red is more expensive, I think.
Oh, yeah, shut up. You don't know a goddamn thing. Just hush.
G says, haha, WTF did I just stumbled on?
I don't know.
Q says, I love it. He doesn't care if he gets canceled. Yeah, see how it's white now as he sands? Because it's clear over it.
Huh?
I said, see how it's white now as he sands? Because there's clear over it.
Right.
When it looks yellow like that, it's either because it's a single stage or in this case, all the clear's gone. So he's sanding the base. And the base still has to be sanded. Even though the clear's gone.
Somebody asked, what the fuck did I stumble on? You stumbled on a man's show that's not going to say, golly gee, bee whiz, man, I just muffled that one off. No, I'm going to go, you're a stupid fucking retard who's butt fucking mother in the ass. And she's going, where's the dick? Where's the dick? Because you're a crybaby bitch.
Well, that was quite the
And
rant.
TikTok goes ape shit. Because, you know, they have contracts and agreements that they can break because they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation here in America allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to do to people who have contract agreements with them that they make us sign. And so we can't do anything to them. Fuck you, you politician pieces of shit. Close down that goddamn shit fucking app. Fucking faggots, you can't allow fucking free speech, then don't fucking open yourself up as a goddamn company that says you're allowed to have free speech.
Glenn Sykes says bullying.
Huh?
Glenn Sykes says bullying. They're a bunch of mama's boys. Get a life.
Ain't that the truth? Bitches, little queerbait bitches sitting around crying.
Giga says screw people who can't handle the heat. Sasha says, tell him to smile, princess.
That's still bullying.
Smile, you'd be prettier.
Don't bully me. Don't hurt my feelings. It's very warm out here.
It is. It's getting a little warm.
Getting right sporty out here, that's for sure.
red?
Probably 18 to 2200 roughly.
Let's see. Colton says, GD, Carl, I needed a car wash, but you're over here stripping my paint. Let's see. Joey says, is that a Hutchins DA?
No.
JP,
$35 DA off of Amazon.
C. Wood. He says, JP, tell us how you really feel.
I think I have. My daughter cringes every time I say the F word.
You got to stop saying it because TikTok's not, or Facebook's not going to allow it. You can say retard, but you can't say the F word. Let's see. P-Dog says, I love rednecks. I could literally, I'm looking at the screen.
Man, I didn't say it.
Big Daddy Evil, he says, awful lot of people sitting in their air conditioning behind their computer, on the toilet, on their phone, talking crap about the man getting his hands dirty. Do they have no leg to stand on? Literally, they're not standing.
Which is funny because they're the same ones who never got out of elementary school and want to mock people for the way they dress. Like somebody the other day was like, how about if I come wash your shirt? I'm like, I work for a living. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Is this day 3 or 4 on the shirt?
See what I mean? Pussies everywhere.
I have an 87 C10 Deluxe and a 62 C10 Comanche.
Okay.
Haven't seen very many Comanches.
There's one guy around here who was driving one.
Is JP back on the 80 grit now, on the clear?
No, this is 400 still.
If he was on 80 grit, they would be peeling it off quickly because this clear is just faded. Let's see. Red State Freeloaders.
You know, Texas has the second highest GPA in the world of any government.
Do they really? Have they hit that high already?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass.
Oh, I think last time I looked, they were at like number 5 or something like that in the world. They're definitely bigger than most small countries.
Right. It's a bigger GDP than Canada or the fucking UK. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that I do know.
And France.
A lot of it on France. You just really hate France.
I hate French people. I really do. I love my Louisianians. What?
Nothing. The lady who's coming in at 2:00 said they're going to be a little late today.
How late?
I don't know. But she sent that right after she sent the other thing, said she was coming in. I told her to let me know when she's like 30 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
she
time?
sent it almost like right away.
What time is it?
It's 11:46 now, or 11:50 now, actually.
She said that they were getting ready to leave and they were down in Houston, so it's probably a 4 or 5 hour trek.
Easily. Wow, we've been on live for almost 2 hours. Like it's an hour 59 now.
Wow.
Took you an hour
So-
and 59 to stand all this.
Right. And I've been stopping and answering questions.
Right. It doesn't normally take an hour to sand all this.
No,
Because truthfully, if you weren't answering questions, it'd probably take you 30 minutes tops.
probably 45, maybe a little bit. But yeah. Don't go fooling me like that, bug.
Little bug.
I think I'm tired. I think it's hot.
I feel like I'm in the middle of a freaking sauna outside. What does it say the temperature is right now?
I'll say it's 90-ish
All right, hold on. I'm looking it up.
because we're not in this.
It says 79 degrees.
My
Feels
left,
like 80, 82.
my left toe.
That's a bunch of BS. That's high humidity.
All right, guys.
We're ending. So long. Thank you guys.
Bye.